This is TWiT.
Yeah, exciting news. We have our first Surface hardware announcement of the year, he says speculatively. I think so. Certainly the first one in a while. Bad news, it's a dock. So Microsoft has this, I believe, is Microsoft's, not counting the ones that Surface Pro used to kind of latch into. Remember those? But like the standalone dock, I believe this is their third version. So there was Surface Dock, Surface Dock 2. Now we have something called Surface Thunderbolt 4 dock.
Boy.
And as its name suggests, there's no Surface connector on this thing, right? A Surface Connect port. It uses USB-C and it's Thunderbolt 4, as the name suggests. So 2 4K monitors up to 60 hertz, etc.
Is it just me that always associate Thunderbolt with Apple?
I know. Well, that's their ability. They were first. I mean, they're first.
I don't disagree. And I mean, yeah, the alternative, of course, is calling it USB 3.2, and that
they could call it 4. USB
better.
4 works.
Could you call it USB 4?
Yep.
They're all compatible. I mean, I'll give you credit. Like the Thunderbolt 4 standard is a good standard. Like that's a pretty skookum connector. Yep. And it's still USB-C. It's the same plug.
Here's the problem, though. So actually, Richard, you might have run into this with you have Surface Book 2 or 3? 2?
I got a Book 2. Yeah.
I remembered. No. Okay. So, I don't remember which version it was. There was a version of Surface Book, maybe the one with performance base, or maybe it was Surface Book 3, where if you charged it with the dock didn't deliver enough power.
That was a 3. Yeah.
That was a 3. Okay. So this has the same problem. So this thing can charge devices with power up to 96 watts. The most expensive or highest end version of the Surface Studio laptop or Surface Laptop Studio, whatever that's called, which is the successor to the Surface Book,
is what 150?
Needs more than 96 watts.
Yeah.
So you have to have 2 things connected to it to charge it and dock at the same time.
Or you have to shut it off to charge it up.
And I would like to start my new YouTube series called Only Microsoft, where they're all about 30 seconds long. I say something stupid like that, then I go, only Microsoft.
I can't wait. This is great. Actually, you should do it on TikTok before it's banned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just be like the little dancing character, like the dancing Bill Gates, only Microsoft. And then the rainbow goes across and it says, the more you learn.
The USB power distribution is capable of doing 200 watts. It's just the standard is wonky.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, there's Surface, there are Thunderbolt 4 docks that do more than this, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. You could get, if you have that particular Surface device, you should get one of those because you can, and it probably costs less than $300. That's the other thing.
It is very expensive. Yeah,
it's really expensive. Even in the world of Thunderbolt docks, this is expensive.
There's no HDMI or DisplayPort on it, which I understand you can do that over USB-C, but I would want to use those USB-C ports.
Right, for USB-C.
Because I'm comparing it to the dock that I use and have recommended a lot, which is a dock from CalDigit. And the similarly priced CalDigit dock has
less than 200, right?
Yeah, the Thunderbolt 3 one is less than 200, I think.
Okay, that's what I have, a CalDigit Thunderbolt 3, but the Thunderbolt 4 you're saying is more expensive.
It's more expensive. I don't know that it's 300, but it's like 249 or something like that. Okay. But in any case, it has the DisplayPort as well as then a bunch of USB-C, USB-A, and it can charge things at full speed, or rather full power. So yeah, this is a little bit more disappointing than.
But it's, you know what though? Listen, to defend Microsoft, it does have a Microsoft logo on it, and
fair.
I don't know what else to say about it.
I got to give it props for the little raised bumps that actually would be helpful if you have it sitting
to find
with those. Yeah, so you can find where I'm supposed to be plugging something in and tell the difference between them. That's a smart idea.
I'm also impressed that it has a 10 gigabit network connection, not a 1. That's not that easy. A lot of folks are not rigged for that. And the Thunderbolt 4 spec is fast enough to drive 2 monitors off 1 USB port chained, if you have the right monitors.
That's right.
So, I mean, that's impressive. And the idea, like, rather than having a couple of display ports and a couple of USB-C ports, I'd rather have 4 USB-C ports because then I can do
fair enough. Because then you could use them for whatever.
I can stick a drive into it. I can stick a monitor into it. I can plug whatever I want in.
Surface is famous for a lot of things. One of them is the kind of weird choices they made with ports and port selection and number of ports and so forth. And I would say, as on that note, this doesn't even rate the top 10 of weird weird stuff my Surface did, but it's
your other series.
It's another TikTok series waiting.
No, but I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm sorry. So
no,
anyway,
I like the whole idea of I closed my Surface. It didn't power down properly. I stuck it in my bag with my McMuffin, and he needed to back up by the time I got to the airport.
Right. It fried the egg. Yeah.
And did it.
Yep. Only Surface.
I'm looking forward to this, honestly.
This is a great series. I'm delighted. Yeah.
Yep.
So going back, of course, the thing here is you could buy this, and even if you didn't have a Surface, you'd be able to use this. Right. Surface connector is sort of but I don't know. I kind of liked the idea of the Surface connector providing that connection that is perfect for doing exactly what you need it to do.
For a lot of Surface guys, this is the tough one. It doesn't have the Surface Connect port. So this was that little fin-like thing that uses magnets to kind of slide into the slot and keep it, so you could kick the cable and it would pop out and not hurt the computer. So you got to think back. Well, why would they have done something like this, right? This was obviously Microsoft's response to MagSafe, the Apple thing, similar technology, except it's more like a plug. But the idea is you yank the cable and you're not pulling the computer off the table. It's smart. Of course, the original actually, I think the only implementation, maybe there were two changes, maybe there's one change in there somewhere, but I believe it was basically USB 2 to start when it first came out. It was very low power. They must have updated one, but they absolutely did up it. I'm sorry. Because it's based on USB, there's no reason they couldn't have done a USB 4 version of this that could have supported all the stuff we're talking about here. They could have done that. But I think what we're seeing, and it's not just this is not the first instance of this, but I think what we're seeing finally is Microsoft kind of moving away from that. And I know that's tough for some people, but in my mind, they adopted USB-C and then Thunderbolt 4 way later than they should have, way later than the rest of the industry. And now if anything, they're overcorrecting. Now it's like all USB-C, but
there's probably a little bit of a fear too of proprietary connectors because the EU is really coming down on a lot of that. So
you want to stick with the USB-C plug, even if it's different.
And that kind of thing would hurt Microsoft a lot more than it would hurt Apple, honestly. Mm-hmm. Well, is that true?
And as soon as you start thinking of it as a generic hub, then I go look at let's go look at an Anchor hub,
right?
And Anchor's top of the line Thunderbolt 4 hub is $360 and only charges up to 90 watts. So
interesting. Okay.
It's got more connectors on it, but it's not any cheaper.
Does the Anchor one look like a brick?
It looks like a weapon you can kill small animals with.
All right, good.
Yeah, it's an aluminum chassis. I think it needs the cooling because it's pushing itself pretty hard.
It's got a fan built in.
Yeah, and it can get a little stand to stand it up on its edge. So you can make loud noises at night when you bump it over. The usual.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, and I'm a huge fan of Anchor products. I have a bunch of them. I don't have this one.
Same. Yep.
But I mean, that would be my instinct. If it's a generic device, not specific to Microsoft hardware, why would I get that over a third-party product that I'm probably paying less of a brand name for?
Yeah, I mean, I know that was a rhetorical question. I would just say that there are Microsoft guys who, they like the Surface stuff. They might just gravitate toward this, but I would have to guess the real reason they make such a thing is there are businesses that maybe buy this thing in bulk.
That's what I was thinking. You just get the whole package, and then you don't have to worry about it.
And you do the monthly thing too, right? They have those monthly installment plans where you can pay for it over time, and you're basically leasing it. And maybe that I'm sure that's the real audience for this. That's my guess.
Yeah, because there's a lot of companies trying to figure out docking solutions that just work. Mm-hmm. So
right.
Well, and getting it down to just a USB-C cable you plug into your laptop, and that's its power and setting all those data sets forth. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the best. There's nothing better than a one cable connection. That's awesome.
And then all of everything else you need to, the idea that every peripheral you ever buy will also have that connection.
Yeah. Yeah, I think to Micah's point, people are going to be buying dongles for sure. If they have to connect it to a particular monitor. Although I guess in this day and age, USB-C is very common on displays as well. You could go straight through to USB-C.
Yeah, and we just had the television or the monitor was HDMI out of the back, and so you just get. Speaking of Anchor, now instead of having to use a dongle, they just make the cable that it kind of has the dongle technology built in.
Each one, exactly.
Which is nice.
Do you want to hear about the latest news happening in the tech world from the people who write the articles, sometimes from the people who are actually making the news? Well, we got a show for you here at TWiT.tv. It's called Tech News Weekly. Me, Jason Howell, and my co-host Mikah Sargent, we talk with some amazing people each and every Thursday on Tech News Weekly, and we share a little bit of our own insights in each of us bringing a story of the week. That's at TWiT.tv/TNW. Subscribe right now.